Who can believe it's been 10 years since we went to Old Trafford and put 6 past United? If you've not seen the highlights, they're here on our channels, but here's some things you might not have known about that historic day. Number 1, Mancini's son. Football is something that brings many families together, but it might still surprise you to discover that our then manager Roberto Mancini's son Filippo was celebrating his dad's win in the away stand with all the other Blues. 2. Goal difference. City's title wins in recent years have been less about narrow margins than vast chasms, but in 2012 it was the tightest Premier League win you could have imagined. It might seem to make sense then that in a derby match against your local rivals to be conservative in the face of victory. Take a win, resist the temptation of inflicting a crushing defeat. Not for Roberto Mancini. He knew how crucial goal difference might be, and as Micah Richards told us in 2019, don't stay back, go and attack was his demand, as he urged City not to take their foot off the pedal against United.
Mancini just said don't go back. He said just like we wanted to get as much, because he kept saying goal difference is going to be important at the end of the season. Do you know what I mean? And like it was all
this is the game. This is the reason why we won the league.
Do you know what I mean?
Like if we didn't have this, if this is 3-1, we don't win the league. Yeah. It's mad.
But do you remember him saying though, goal difference? Every game, goal difference, goal difference, goal difference.
Yeah.
Number 3, United's red card. Johnny Evans was dismissed for a professional foul on Mario Balotelli just 2 minutes after the restart. City were actually already winning, but the Red left the Blues with a chance to run riot in a devastating second half, and run riot they certainly did. It was the hosts' only sending off across the entire Premier League season, with City seeing red on 5 occasions en route to a maiden Premier League title. Another interesting bit, QPR, our opponents on that famous final day of the season, were handed 9 reds across the campaign, more than any other team. Number 4, Lescott's assist. Julian Lescott grabbed 6 assists during his 5 seasons at City, with the last of those coming when he cuts the ball back for Edin Dzeko to smash home our 4th against United. He certainly picked the moments well to grab his final one for the club. Number 5, David Silva's volleyed pass. David Silva's defence-splitting pass for City's 6th goal perfectly demonstrated the Spaniards' incredible technical ability. The Spaniard sent Edin Dzeko through on goal with a sumptuous volleyed pass to claim his 6th assist of the season. He went on to earn the most assists in the Premier League that campaign with 15, the most in a single year by any Premier League player since Cesc Fabregas had registered 17 for Arsenal in 2007 to 2008. Across the 36 Premier League matches he featured in during 2011 and 12, El Mago was involved in an incredible 23 goals. 6. United's Old Trafford record. Our opponents boasted a ruthless home record leading into the Manchester derby, avoiding defeats at Old Trafford for over a year. Indeed, United hadn't lost on their own patch since Chelsea had come away with a 1-0 win in April 2010. They went unbeaten at Old Trafford for the entirety of the following season, in which they claimed the title, and prior to City's visit in October 2011, the Reds had also won 19 successive Premier League home matches. But as we know, records are there to be broken, and so it turns out were the hearts of the Manchester United fans in attendance. 7. United's Premier League record. Our emphatic victory in the Manchester derby was United's worst defeat in the Premier League era. Both Chelsea and Newcastle had previously claimed 5-0 triumphs during the 90s, but Sir Alex Ferguson's men had only conceded 6 in the Premier League once before, against Southampton at the Dell in '96. Tottenham also came away from Old Trafford with a 6-1 win more recently in October 2020, but no side has ever bettered City's winning margin in the Premier League against the Red Devils. 8. United's worst Old Trafford defeat. Just to pile on more misery, United hadn't experienced as heavy a defeat on home soil in almost 60 years. Matt Busby's side, who would go on to claim successive First Division titles in the following 2 seasons, were beaten 5-0 at Old Trafford on 12th of February 1955. Their opponents that day? None other than Manchester City. 9. City's late strikes. City's final 3 goals at Old Trafford all arrived in the space of just 5 minutes. Edin Dzeko tapped home from a Julian Lescott cutback after the hosts failed to clear a corner in the 89th minute, and David Silva coolly slotted home number 5 early in stoppage time. But there was still time for Dzeko to complete his brace, with Silva turning from scorer to provider just 2 minutes later to send the Bosnian through on goal. The rest, as they say, is glorious, glorious history. 10. Mancini's century. The 161st Manchester derby was already guaranteed to be a major milestone for City boss Roberto Mancini, regardless of the results. Having taken the reins in December 2009, the Italian was celebrating his 100th competitive match in charge of the club when he made the short journey to Old Trafford on 23rd of October 2011. In the 99 games prior, Mancini had overseen 57 wins in the City dugout, but it's safe to say that number 58 perhaps made the biggest statements of all. So hopefully that tops up your knowledge of this famous match, so feel free to share it with the United fan in your life today. But is there anything we missed? Let us know in the comments what else you remember about today, or any other matches you'd love to know a little bit more about. And subscribe to Manchester City for other very important history lessons just like this one.